Wunderschönen guten Morgen, liebe Freunde der Sonne. Herzlich willkommen zurück zu Parabel. Ich würde sagen, wir laden einfach mal und spielen weiter. So, nachdem wir ja das letzte Mal überhaupt gar nicht gemacht haben, was uns der Sprecher vorgeschlagen hat, würde ich sagen, verfahren wir genauso weiter und schauen, ob wir jetzt in einer Endlosschleife sind und immer wieder das Gleiche passiert, oder ob wir das Spiel noch weiter kaputt machen können.
No! Why did you do that? Quickly, hurry. Is behave exactly as Stanley would. That means choosing responsibly and always putting the story first. I'm quite sure you'll be up to the task. Just follow my lead and you'll be fine. All right. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Okay, das Spiel hat keinen Bock mehr auf uns und setzt uns jetzt wohl jedes Mal zurück. Ich probiere es noch ein einziges Mal aus.
No! Why did you do that? Quickly, hurry. Is behave exactly as Stanley would. That means choosing responsibly and always putting the story first. I'm quite sure you'll be up to the task. Just follow my lead and you'll be fine. All right. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Na gut, dann gehen wir dieses Mal durch die linke Tür. Fällt gerade auf, dass diese Türklinken extrem weit unten sind, oder? Wenn man sich so mal die Größe der Türen anschaut. Sehr merkwürdig. Vielleicht damit auch Kinder gut rankommen? Okay. Da ist der Konferenzsaal und dieses Mal scheint alles noch zu passen.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
How to solve a dispute with a co-worker. Meeting room, floor 4XX. Group, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Also wir haben hier auch die Wochentage aufgeschrieben. Sehr schön. Da steht hier, do not alter without consulting Whiteboard Manager. Es gibt einen Manager, der dieses Whiteboard quasi bearbeitet. Rest in Peace, Franz, keine Ahnung. Group. Ideas, okay. Targets. Who moved my desk? Please keep the targets on the topic of. Hire someone to synergize papers. Get Chris out of the broom closet, okay. Tomorrow, complete today's unfinished agenda items. Aha. What are your dreams for the future? Nature, success, trends, plant life, football, spring break, mehr interessante Flipcharts. What do people want? Okay, ich glaube, wir gehen einfach mal weiter. Oh, das ist doch dieses Klo, wo der eine Typ sich eingesperrt hat. Aha.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Ja, ich glaube, wir können halt nicht springen, ne? Also wir kommen jetzt hier nicht weiter. Wir müssen nach oben gehen. Schade, ich dachte, wir könnten das aufdrehen und irgendwelchen Spaß mit dem Rohr machen. Aha. Wie gesagt, ich versuche definitiv erstmal das zu machen, was ich nicht machen soll. Momentan haben wir, wie es aussieht, gar keine andere Wahl. Was liegt da? Business Time oder was? Aber wir kommen nicht hin. Damn. Und das ist das Büro von dem Chef, oder wie? Merkwürdiges Büro, oder ist das einfach nur die...
Stepping inside his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Shocked, unraveled, Stanley wondered in disbelief who orchestrated this, until he saw the door with a voice receiver next to it. Surely behind this door lay all the answers to his questions. And beyond all probability, he knew the passcode. He had seen it on his boss's computer just last week. Nightshark 115. Was this the code to open the door? Would it still work? There was only one way to find out. Stanley had been trained never to speak up, but now he would draw from within himself the courage to face the unknown. He drew a sharp breath and then spoke the code.
I am the most expensive boss. Wir haben also kein Bild vom Kopf und wir können wohl auch nichts anderes machen.
Stanley spoke the code. Nightshark 115. He spoke it into the receiver, right there on the wall.
Okay, also dieser Schrank war wohl vor dieser Tür und der wurde jetzt
I'm
weggeschoben.
sorry, is there a problem? You didn't mishear me, did you? Please speak the code into the receiver. Otherwise we can't get on with the story. This is a crucial step.
Es regt ihn schon wieder auf, dass ich nicht mache, was er sagt.
Okay, fine, you're not gonna do it, but you know what? It's pretty humiliating to bring you this far, only for you to suddenly decide you have better things to do. I asked you for this one single thing, for your respect. The kind of respect Stanley shows for his choices. He knows what it means to take a story seriously. If you didn't want to see what I had to show you, then why did you come here? You had a choice, you know. You could have gone through the door on the right. You could have done whatever the hell you wanted over there. Why did you come this way? Speak. Say something to me. Explain yourself, you coward. When Stanley came to a set of two open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Was ist denn jetzt passiert?
Hello? Are you... Is everything okay? Stanley, please. I need you to make a choice. I need you to walk through the door. Are you listening to me? Can you hear me? Is everything all right? Stanley, this is important. The story needs you. It needs you to make a decision. It cannot exist without you. Do you understand me? Whatever choice you make is just fine. They're both correct. You cannot be wrong here. We can work together. I'll accept whatever you do. I simply need you to take that step forward, please. Choose. Do something. Anything. This is more important than you can ever know. I need this. The story needs it. So, you hear me? Are you there? Are you listening to this? Stanley, are you there? Okay. It's okay, I can wait. You need time to decide. Time to make sure your choice is correct. That is the best choice. That's all right. I'll wait for you to decide what's the right thing to do. Take as much time as you need.
Warum bekommt er denn vor der Tür jetzt die Zeit, die er will? Aber ich habe nicht die Zeit bekommen, die ich wollte, um mich zu entscheiden, ob ich da durchsprechen möchte. Okay, es geht also wieder von vorn los. Wir haben Scheiße gebaut. Dieses Mal... Ne, ich habe eine bessere Idee. Wir werden dieses Mal nicht direkt tun, was er sagt, sondern wir werden... werden das tun, was ich möchte, aber etwas anders als gerade eben. Ihr werdet gleich sehen, was ich meine.
When Stanley came to a set of two open doors, this was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. Ah, yes, truly a room worth admiring. But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
So, wir werden nämlich dieses Mal das Telefon benutzen. Mal gucken, was da passiert.
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago.
Mal
Look,
gucken.
Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really I'm not. I realize that investing in your trust, but in his eagerness to prove that he is in control of the story and no one gets to tell him what to do, Stanley leapt from the platform and plunged to his death. Good job, Stanley. Everyone thinks you are very powerful.
Okay, Das ist mir gerade so spontan eingefallen. Das war so spontan meine Idee. Wir springen mal in den Tod.
What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
So.
When Stanley came to a set of two open, this was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. Wow, yes, this room. But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
Dieses Mal werden wir auf jeden Fall das Telefon benutzen und nicht wieder in den Tod springen.
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago.
Do not jump from the charge or lift while it is in motion. Will cause death. Penalty for misuse of cargo lift $1,000. Penalty for jumping off the cargo lift $5,000. Ja gut, aber...
Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time. There's someone you've been neglecting, Stanley. Someone you've forgotten about. Please, stop trying to make every decision by yourself. Now, I'm not asking for me, I'm asking for her. This is it, Stanley. Your chance to redeem yourself. To put your work aside. To let her back into your life. She's been waiting. That's her, Stanley.
Oh, Stanley, is that you? Hold on, sweetie. Sorry to keep you waiting. I'm just pulling the bread out of the oven. All right. Okay, there we go. All right, now, I want you to come in and tell me all about your day.
Gotcha! Oh, come on. Did you actually think you had a loving wife who'd want to commit their life to you? I'm trying to make a point here, Stanley. I'm trying to get you to see something. Come inside. Let me show you what's really going on here.
Okay, das war wirklich etwas gruselig.
This is a very sad story about the death of a man named Stanley.
Guten Morgen, Angestellter 427. Drücke P auf deiner Tastatur. Möchte ich das? Möchte ich jetzt P drücken? Ich komme nirgendwo weiter zumindest.
Stanley is quite a boring fellow. He has a job that demands nothing of him, and every button that he pushes is a reminder of the inconsequential nature of his existence.
Drücke E.
Look at him there, pushing buttons, doing exactly what he's told to do. Now he's pushing a button. Now he's eating lunch. Now he's going home. Now he's coming back to work. One might even feel sorry for him, except that he's chosen this life.
Drücke R.
But in his mind, in his mind he can go on fantastic adventures. From behind his desk, Stanley dreamed of wild expeditions into the unknown, fantastic discoveries of new lands. It was wonderful, and each day that he returned to work was a reminder that none of it would ever happen to him.
Drücke E, fernzusehen.
And so he began to fantasize about his own job. First, he imagined that one day while at work, he stepped up from his desk to realize that all of his co-workers, his boss, everyone in the building had suddenly vanished off the face of the earth. The thought excited him terribly.
Drücke V, Zeit mit den Kindern zu verbringen.
So he went further. He imagined that he came to two open doors and that he could go through either. At last, choice. It barely even mattered what lay behind each door. The mere thought that his decisions would mean something was almost too wonderful to behold.
Drücke Q, Abendessen vorzubereiten.
As he wandered through this fantasy world, he began to fill it with many possible paths and destinations. Down one path lay an enormous round room with monitors and mind controls. and down another was a yellow line that weaved in many directions, and down another was a game with a baby. And he called it the Stanley Parable.
Drücke Z, um deinen Kindern die Geschichte zu erzählen.
It was such a wonderful fantasy, and so in his head he relived it again, and then again, and again, over and over, wishing beyond hope that it would never end, that he might always feel this free. Surely there's an answer down some new path, mustn't there be? Perhaps if he played just one more time.
Drücke 1, um deiner Frau zu sagen, dass du sie liebst.
But there is no answer. How could there possibly be? In reality, all he's doing is pushing the same buttons he always has. Nothing has changed. The longer he spends here, the more invested he gets, the more he forgets which life is the real one.
Drücke P, um schlafen zu gehen.
And I'm trying to tell him this, that in this world he can never be anything but an observer, that as long as he remains here, he's slowly killing himself. But he won't listen to me. He won't stop. Here, watch this. Stanley, the next time the screen asks you to push a button, do not do it.
Bitte drücke 6, um morgen früh bei der Arbeit zu sein. Ich kann aber nichts anderes machen, außer die 6 zu drücken. Verdammt nochmal.
You see? Can he just not hear me? How can I tell him in a way that he'll understand that every second he remains here, he's electing to kill himself? How can I get him to see what I see? How can I make him look at himself?
Drücke F, um nichts in Frage zu stellen.
I suppose I can't, not in the way I want him to. But I don't make the rules. I simply play to my intended purpose, the same as Stanley. We're not so different, I suppose. I'll try once more to convey all this to him. I'm compelled to. I must. Perhaps, well, maybe this time he'll see. Maybe this time. And I tried again, and Stanley pushed a button. And I tried again, and Stanley pushed a button. And I
Okay. Langsam wird das Spiel wirklich gruselig, obwohl überhaupt nichts Schlimmes passiert. Aber irgendwie sieht er auf jeden Fall voraus, was ich mache. Das ist aber ein anderer Ausgang, oder?
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Hä? Aber das sieht anders aus dieses Mal. Warum das denn?
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Okay.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
Na gut, dann werden wir dieses Mal wohl das Codewort... Oh!
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Dann gehen wir natürlich nach unten. Firehorse. Ein rotes Licht. Sonst nichts. Wir haben auch keine Taschenlampe.
But Stanley just couldn't do it. He considered the possibility of facing his boss, admitting he had left his post during work hours. He might be fired for that. And in such a competitive economy, why had he taken that risk? All because he believed everyone had vanished? His boss would think he was crazy. And then something occurred to Stanley. Maybe, he thought to himself, maybe I am crazy. All of my co-workers blinking mysteriously out of existence in a single moment for no reason at all? None of it made any logical sense. And as Stanley pondered this, he began to make other strange observations. For example, why couldn't he see his feet when he looked down? Why did doors close automatically behind him wherever he went? And for that matter, these rooms were starting to look pretty familiar. Were they simply repeating? No, Stanley said to himself, this is all too strange. This can't be real. And at last, he came to the conclusion that had been on the tip of his tongue. He just hadn't found the words for it. "I'm dreaming!" he yelled. "This is all a dream." Oh, what a relief Stanley felt to have finally found an answer, an explanation. His co-workers weren't actually gone. He wasn't going to lose his job. He wasn't crazy after all. And he thought to himself, I suppose I'll wake up soon. I'll have to go back to my boring real-life job pushing buttons. I may as well enjoy this while I'm still lucid. So, he imagined himself flying and began to gently float above the ground. Then he imagined himself soaring through space on a magical starfield, and it too appeared. It was so much fun, and Stanley marveled that he had still not woken up. How was he remaining so lucid? And then perhaps the strangest question of them all entered Stanley's head. One he was amazed he hadn't asked himself sooner. Why is there a voice in my head dictating everything that I'm doing and thinking? Now the voice was describing itself being considered by Stanley, who found it particularly strange. I'm dreaming about a voice describing me, thinking about how it's describing my thoughts, he thought. And while he thought it all very odd and wondered if this voice spoke to all people in their dreams, the truth was that, of course, this was not a dream. How could it be? Was Stanley simply deceiving himself, believing that if he's asleep, he doesn't have to take responsibility for himself? Stanley is as awake right now as he's ever been in his life. Now, hearing the voice speak these words was quite a shock to Stanley. After all, he knew for certain, beyond a doubt, that this was in fact a dream. Did the voice not see him float and make the magical stars just a moment ago? How else would the voice explain all that? This voice was a part of himself too. Surely, if he could just... He would prove it. He would prove that he was in control, that this was a dream. So he closed his eyes gently, and he invited himself to wake up. He felt the cool weight of the blanket on his skin, the press of the mattress on his back, the fresh air of a world outside this one. Let me wake up, he thought to himself. I'm through with this dream. I wish it to be over. Let me go back to my job. Let me continue pushing the buttons. Please, it's all I want. I want my apartment, and my wife, and my job. All I want is my life exactly the way it's always been. My life is normal. I am normal. Everything will be fine. I am okay.
Verdammt, es hat nicht geklappt. Dann würde ich sagen, machen wir hier mal einen kleinen Cut, speichern und beim nächsten Mal sehen wir dann, wie das mit diesem verrückten Stanley weitergeht. In diesem Sinne, ein sehr, sehr interessantes Spiel auf jeden Fall. Ich hoffe, es gefällt euch auch. Dementsprechend liken, kommentieren, abonnieren, wenn es euch gefallen hat. Ansonsten bis zum nächsten Mal, euer Paxis. Tschö, tschö.